Alright, what's going on, guys? It is Moldy Fate, and we're going to talk about what if Deku had all for one, the quirk. So, hope you guys enjoyed, and please like and subscribe if you like this video. Bye-bye. Izuku Midoriya believed his whole life that he was a quirkless boy, and he was also bullied for this. But the truth is, he was not quirkless one bit. One day, while walking home from school, he goes under a tunnel. This very same tunnel where the slime villain will attack him. And thus it happens. Out of a manhole, a giant green slime would come and attack Izuku. And Izuku, believing this is his last moments, he tries his best to get out of this situation. He grabs the slime villain's face, and then a green aura is absorbed into Izuku. This aura keeps on absorbing into Izuku, and every moment the slime villain is losing his quirk. He's transforming back into a human, to the point where the dude with only pants on asks what Izuku did to him. Izuku looks at his hands, and then, like a jolt of energy, his hands turn to slime, then back to his normal hands again. As he then looked at the man realized he stepped back. "You took my quirk, you little shit." As he tries to punch Izuku, when coming into contact, Izuku's face being turned into slime to protect him. Izuku then punched the dude back, but when he punched him, his hand turned into a giant slime replica and hit him harder than he intended. This is when All Might decided to jump out the manhole. Izuku looked at All Might, and All Might looked at the two people and realized the slime villain must have went a different way. The dude looked at All Might thinking that he was going to get saved, then remembered that All Might was chasing him. He didn't want to say anything just in case. Izuku would run away as the slime villain, now quirkless, rethinks everything. He goes home in fear of himself, but also with a little excitement. He has a quirk, it's morbid, it's weird, it's odd. He talks to his mother, and Inko, after hearing what happened to Izuku, goes to the quirk doctor. After that, the quirk doctor makes Izuku go through tests, and slowly realizes that Izuku has one of the rarest types of quirks, so rare that a type 4, well, this is what it's considered. There's a theory, along with quirk singularity, that one day someone will have the exact same quirk as another person, and this was that day. Izuku had the same quirk as All for One, but he knew that it wasn't All for One himself because he worked for him. So thus he gave Izuku a different name for this quirk and did not tell Izuku about any side effects because there wasn't any to be. Well, it's not as easy to test as other quirks. This wasn't an emitter, a transmitter, a transform, or a mutation. It was different. Izuku just stole quirks, so it could be any of those things. Thus, testing something like this and the side effects is hard. And thus, the quirk doctor comes out and explains Izuku's quirk to both him and Inko. Izuku is now 16, so he doesn't have such a big reaction as he would have if he was 5. The quirk doctor then explained, "Your quirk name, Snatch. The ability, you can steal other quirk users through physical contact to the face. And this will come as like an energy stealing visual. And the side effects are unknown." Inko was a bit worried. Unknown, as the quirk doctor would state. Well, a quirk like this isn't an emitter, transformation, or a mutation. Because of this, and because it can be all three, the quirk itself, that way you can't really tell any side effects. The more he uses it, the more we'll know about it. But since a quirk like this is very hard to use without any repercussion, well, if he's a hero, he might have some trouble. Although, we do realize that after he stole that slime quirk, he's able to use it pretty much whenever he wants. And he has all the side effects as the quirk he stole. For example, if he stole something with a side effect of freezer burn or whatever, he'd have it. Or if he steals a mutation quirk, it would convert into a transformation quirk instead. As Izuku would kind of get worried, but keep his bright outlook. Izuku already enrolled into UA, so all he had to do was update his quirk, and for the next 10 months he trained his quirk. The slime quirk was pretty much mastered by the time the 10 months were up, and Izuku gave himself a rule. He could only steal the quirk of villains. Since they're using their quirks for evil, he might as well just use their quirks for good. After the 10 months of training, he ran to the UA gates, but he tripped over a rock and got caught by Uraraka. Uraraka would apologize to Izuku, assuming that he'd want to get saved from getting hit in the face by the ground. Izuku got up as he shook off the dust and stuff, and he'd say, "Oh yeah, thank you." Izuku would walk into the UA halls, and he'd find himself at the UA auditorium as President Mike was explaining the exam. "Alright guys, listen up closely. There are 3 robots you must destroy. Bare minimum amount of points is 30. Basically there's a 1-pointer, 2-pointer, and 3-pointer. That's pretty much all you're gonna know, so let's continue," as he was cut off by Ida. "Mr. President Mike, how can we at all expect to trust you when you blatantly lied to us over and over again?" As President Mike would be confused, Ida would elaborate. "Well, you said there's 3 robots. There's a 1-pointer, 2-pointer, and 3-pointer, but right here it states that there's a 4th robot that has a 0 on it." As President Mike was kind of confused. I mean, doesn't even count as a robot? I mean, I guess, but it's a 0-point robot. You don't want to go near it. Just avoid it. Ida would sit back down. See, Izuku, he's kind of nervous. His quirk, yes, it's about stealing things, but his entire life he's been keeping track of heroes. If anyone got a hold of his notebook and do his quirk, they might assume things, so he kept his love for studying quirks a bit of a secret, even more so in this version in the anime or manga. After this, President Mike will then direct all the students to ground beta. As all the students are getting ready and basically stretching and stuff like that, Izuku went to go talk to Uraraka, but Ida stands in Izuku's way. "So, let me guess, you're here to disrupt the girl as she's doing her basic stretching," Ida said, pretty much assuming what Izuku was trying to do. Izuku would try to explain himself. No, I just bumped into her this morning, so I just wanted to continue our conversation." Izuku was a lot more nervous than in this part than the original, as Ida would just continue on and on as the gates would open. They'd open for a few seconds, and everybody was kind of confused as President Mike yelled over comms, "There's no countdown in a fight. Go, go, go," as he yelled. Izuku, when hearing this, would transform into the slime monster and zoom around the area. Using the fact that pretty much he's crawling around the floor at high speeds, he's able to destroy a bunch of robots very quickly. He gets around 71 hero points when they decide to pull out the 0-point robot. When the 0-point robot goes out, everybody runs away, including Izuku in this version. But he hears a girl trapped underneath rubble. Izuku would then run up to the girl and absorb her in his slime. Pause, and then carries her out of the way of the 0-point robot. As he gets a safe distance away, Izuku would lay the girl down, and Recovery Girl would lay the girl down and reveal that it's Uraraka. As Recovery Girl would heal Uraraka, god damn it, I cannot speak, and the exam would finish. Izuku goes home, and the next day Izuku gets a letter in the mail. All Might would be on this hologram-like letter as he would explain to Izuku that he got 71 hero points, and by saving somebody during the exam, he got 60 rescue points. In total, Izuku got 131 points in the exam, and is now on UA at first place, the #1 student. Izuku jumps for joy and begins laughing as his mom walks into the room and hugs Izuku as she begins to cry. Izuku asks what's wrong, as she then explains that it's kind of her fault Izuku has this type of quirk, as Izuku would then state, "Oh, come on, your quirk's levitation and Dad's quirk's fire breathing. This was unexpected." As he'd hug his mom even tighter, they'd all just laugh, and she even make Izuku's favorite dinner, for dinner, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, that'd be it for What If Deku Had All For One Part 1. I know it's a little bit different than what you probably were expecting, like All For One gave Izuku a quirk or something, or All For One gave Izuku his own quirk, but those never make sense to me, so yeah. Hope you guys enjoy, and if you're hearing barking, it's my dog. Sorry. Bye-bye.